Welcome to the Blake Goodman PC Attorneys Podcast. We provide a knowledgeable guide on bankruptcy law in the state of Hawaii so you can stay informed and get the fresh financial start you need. With over 80 years of combined experience in bankruptcy law, at Blake Goodman PC, we're ready to listen and help you get back on your feet. This podcast series is reviewed and approved by founding attorney Blake Goodman.
In this episode, we'll explore how you can protect your inheritance during bankruptcy, highlighting the key factors you need to consider. Filing for bankruptcy is often a difficult decision, stemming from overwhelming debts and financial stress. Receiving an inheritance during this time might seem like a lifeline, a chance to regain financial stability. However, whether you can keep your inheritance during bankruptcy depends on several critical factors, including timing of the inheritance, type of bankruptcy filed, either Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, and applicable exemptions in Hawaii. In this comprehensive guide, we'll explore how bankruptcy affects your inheritance and what you need to know to navigate this complex situation. First, it's important to understand how Chapter 7 bankruptcy impacts your assets and inheritance. In a Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Hawaii, a bankruptcy trustee is appointed to liquidate or sell your non-exempt assets to pay off unsecured creditors. After the sale and distribution, most remaining unsecured debts are discharged, giving you a fresh financial start. Non-exempt assets typically include the following: luxury items like jewelry and designer clothing, second homes and vacation properties, vehicles with high equity, non-retirement investment accounts, cash, bank accounts and savings, collectibles and antiques, and recreational vehicles like boats, motorcycles, and ATVs. Now, let's take a closer look at how inheritance is handled in Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Inheritance received within 180 days after filing for bankruptcy becomes part of the bankruptcy estate. This means the trustee can use it to pay off your creditors. However, if your inheritance qualifies for an exemption, you may be able to keep some or all of it. Let's understand the 180-day rule. The 180-day rule, 11 U.S.C. Section 541A, 5A, states that any inheritance you become entitled to receive within 180 days of filing for bankruptcy becomes part of your bankruptcy estate. A key point is that the 180 days start from the date of the decedent's death, not when you actually receive the inheritance. For example, if a relative passes away 90 days after you file for bankruptcy, any inheritance you receive from them is part of your bankruptcy estate. Or if they pass away 190 days after filing, the inheritance is generally yours to keep. Next, it's crucial to understand why timing plays a key role. If it's within 180 days, inheritance may be used to pay creditors. But after 180 days, inheritance is typically excluded from the bankruptcy estate. Inheritance exemptions within a Hawaii Chapter 7 bankruptcy allow you to protect certain assets from being sold in bankruptcy. Hawaii allows debtors to choose between federal and state exemptions, depending on which is more beneficial. Common Hawaii exemptions include the following: homestead exemption, up to $30,000 equity in your primary residence. Personal property, clothing, household goods, furniture. Wages and earnings, a portion of unpaid but earned wages. And wildcard exemption, allows you to exempt any property of your choosing up to a certain amount. You may be wondering how exemptions can be applied to your inheritance. If your inheritance falls within the exemption limits, you may be able to keep it. For example, if you inherit a home with $25,000 in equity, you can use the homestead exemption to protect it. On the issue of cash inheritance, when using the wildcard exemption, you may protect a portion of a cash inheritance. Exemptions are complex, and maximizing them often requires the expertise of a bankruptcy attorney. Let's now delve into how inheritance is handled in Chapter 13 Bankruptcy in Hawaii. In Chapter 13 Bankruptcy, you propose a repayment plan to pay back all or a portion of your debts over 3 to 5 years. You keep your assets, but your disposable income goes towards the repayment plan. An inheritance received before or during the repayment plan could impact your obligations, as any non-exempt portion may increase the amount you must pay to unsecured creditors. If you receive a substantial inheritance, the trustee may request a modification of your repayment plan to incorporate the additional funds. The benefits of Chapter 13 regarding inheritance include the following: asset retention, you don't have to liquidate assets, and flexibility, potential to adjust the repayment plan if circumstances change. Let's not overlook your legal obligation to report any inheritance during bankruptcy in Hawaii. You are legally required to disclose all assets, including any inheritance you become entitled to within the 180-day window. Failure to report can lead to dismissal of your bankruptcy case, denial of discharge, criminal charges for bankruptcy fraud, and potential fines and imprisonment. Let's continue by examining the role of the bankruptcy trustee. The trustee reviews your financial situation thoroughly. Attempting to hide an inheritance is risky and often unsuccessful. Always consult your attorney, since they can advise on how to handle the inheritance, and they can help maximize exemptions to protect your assets. Finally, let's explore effective strategies to protect your inheritance. First, you must utilize exemptions wisely. Between federal and state exemptions, you should choose the system that offers better protection for your specific inheritance. Then, maximize wildcard exemptions. Apply them to assets most at risk. It's also crucial to consider timing. Don't forget about delaying bankruptcy filing. If possible, delay filing until after the 180-day period if you anticipate an inheritance. When considering chapter selection, Chapter 13 may offer more flexibility in handling inheritance. And proceed with caution. Making transfers or delaying filings to protect assets can have legal consequences. Always consult with a bankruptcy attorney before making such decisions. Remember, if you've received an inheritance, don't wait. Consult our experienced bankruptcy lawyers today. Are you navigating bankruptcy and unsure how your inheritance will be affected? At Blake Goodman, PC, we're dedicated to guiding you through this challenging process. With over 80 years of combined experience, our skilled Honolulu bankruptcy lawyers are intimately familiar with Hawaii's bankruptcy laws. We offer personalized consultations to understand your unique situation, expert guidance to maximize exemptions and protect your rights, and comprehensive support from filing to discharge. We're with you every step of the way. Contact us today for top-notch service and discover peace of mind as you traverse the complex world of bankruptcy. To schedule your free case consultation, call us at 808-556-7833 or visit us online at debtfreehawaii.com.
Thank you for listening to the Blake Goodman PC Attorneys Podcast. Going through bankruptcy can be a difficult and complex situation, but it doesn't have to be if you have us on your side. Your path to financial freedom starts here. Get in touch with the experienced bankruptcy lawyers at Blake Goodman PC Attorney today to explore your options.